Fantastic team. Call 912-810-1540. Let First Southern Bank be your bank of choice. First Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
8:01 here at the Big Dog WIFO World Famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Jonathan. We got the Wayne County Ministerial Association man in charge, Dale Baines. Dale, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in.
No problem. You're welcome anytime. I understand you have a big event today at the high school. The Wayne County Ministerial Association is partnered with somebody to give away some free food, a food drive. So just give us the details today from 2 to 5 at the high school.
Yeah, we got the Wayne County Ministerial Association. They're partnering with Convoy of Hope and the USDA, and they're going to be doing a giveaway that's through the USDA and the president. And it's going to be a box of food, and it's going to be a nice box of food. It's going to have 4 pounds of fresh fruit, 4 pounds of fresh vegetables, 5 pounds of meat, a pound of butter, a pound of cheese, and a half gallon of milk, absolutely free. And as this comes in, it's going to be coming in on a refrigerated truck, so it's going to be staying refrigerated the whole time, so you don't have to worry about anything that's been sitting out there. It's going to be first quality, first run stuff, and a lot of this is some of the things you might have seen on the news where they were destroying the excess produce, milk, and stuff like that. Well, the USDA has come in, and they've bought a lot of that, and they said rather than destroying it, let's give it away to the needy. And so that's what we're going to be doing today.
Okay, and that's from 2 to 5 p.m. That'll be after the summer food drive, which is early this morning, right?
Yes.
And we do want to remind people that Wayne County food drive is still ongoing. Yesterday we did a story about Glenn County had to shut theirs down because somebody tested positive for the COVID-19. But of course, now social media is they jumped out there and said Wayne County's program shut down because they just want to cause controversy and chaos. So that's not the case. So people hear what they want to hear. But
well,
again,
that's what I'd heard. I thought it was shut down as well, just from what I heard. But well, you better be careful what you hear.
All right. So they just don't listen. As I say all the time, listen. Let it circulate in your brain.
Yeah, you do that to me all the time.
Right. Yep. But anyway, your program's today from 2 to 5 at the high school, and this is going to be a drive-through as well.
Yes, we're gonna do it there at the canopy at the main entrance of the high school. Thank Dr. McDaniel for allowing us to use those facilities. So that way we can get over there, we can get in and out easy with a forklift, pallet jacks, and we're going to try our best to run 2 lanes to make this go smooth, because in the past the giveaways that I've helped with through efforts through the Church of God and others, we gave away like 500 boxes. Well, today's going to be over 1,400 boxes, so it's going to be a semi loaded completely front to back. That's a bunch of food.
You gave us the list. It's 4 pounds of fresh fruit, 1/2 gallon of milk, 5 pounds of meat, 1 pound of butter, 1 pound of cheese. So,
and 4 pounds of fresh vegetables.
Fresh vegetables
as well.
So again, all that being given out today, so I'm sure there'll be a good crowd. So how did the Ministerial Association get with this company? Did they reach out to you? Did y'all reach out to them?
Convoy of Hope. I've had a relationship with Convoy of Hope. Convoy of Hope is an organization, like a missions organization, very similar to Samaritan's Purse. If you'll go to a lot of these disaster areas, you'll see both of these working together. And a lot of times they'll get with each other. If one's in one particular town or city, then the other one will go to another city right beside it. And what they do is they go into devastated areas, and also they feed over 200, and it was 200,000 kids a day, and I heard this past week now they're reaching 300,000 kids a day, feeding them meals. And so this is somebody, they reached out to us. I believe they're going to be the logistics arm of this USDA program. They already had everything in place. They know how it works. So the USDA said, hey, let's use them. They know what they're doing. This isn't a first time for them. So they're using them. And like I said, this is coming through the USDA, and with the Convoy of Hope being that logistics arm of that, and then us partnering with the local churches. This is what's so good. We've got Baptist churches, we've got Methodist churches, we've got non-denominational churches, we've got Church of God, the Assembly of God, we've got different Pentecostal churches that are all coming together and joining together today to be able to do this event for our town.
And once again, it's today at the high school from 2 to 5 p.m.
Yes.
So when people are coming towards that, where's it going to be set up at the high school?
It's going to be set up at the canopy right at the front door. So we're going to have, I believe it's the Wayne County Sheriff's Department is going to be handling the traffic. The last several times we've done this event, they've made this go so smoothly. And thankfully, through some of the events that the Church of God's already done, they've already got a plan in place where everything is running smoothly. So that's going to be a huge help. But they're going to be able to control the crowds. And we thought that a central location like the high school, you got all of those. You got Durrance Road. You got Williamson.
Joey Williamson.
Yeah,
right.
Road that runs through there. So you got all of these roads that are coming through there with not many dwellings, not many houses. So we were able to take all of that traffic, especially when you got 1,400 boxes. If we get, half that in cars, that's going to be a lot of cars. So that area right through there, especially with school being out, is going to be a tremendous help because we don't have to worry about that traffic backing up.
Can you just join us, Dale Baines, with the Ministerial Association? And for people who may not know what the Wayne County Ministerial Association is, explain what the association is. The
association is the coming together of all of our Christian churches in Wayne County to have one mind. The heartbeat of God was missions. And we have a mission here in Wayne County, and that's to reach the people of our community. And if we can do that in a time that we're living in right now with so much hate, so much confusion, if we can just come together, it doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter what your race is, we're going to come together because when we get to heaven, there's going to be no race card. There's not going to be any, if you're male or female or any of that. It's going to, all of us be coming together with one focus. And that's what Jesus said. He said that I didn't come into this world to be served, but to serve. And that's what we want to do. That as the Wayne County Ministerial Association, we want to serve our community.
How's your church services going? I see a lot of churches now are going back to people at church. Some are still doing the live stream, but what about your church?
Yeah, we're doing, almost everybody now has went back to live. We're doing it on a limited schedule. We are absolutely practicing the social distancing. We're not offering any nursery at this time. We're not offering any children's church. It is just we're doing it a limited to, because this is what our district office has relayed to us, is try to do it in a 1-hour session. We go in before our church starts. We'll go in and sanitize the whole place, wiping down doorknobs, spraying Lysol, everything that we can to try to help stop this. But for right now, we're doing 1 hour on Sunday and 1 hour on Wednesday.
How difficult are funerals and going to visit people, and can you go visit people in the hospital at all, or they still can't do that?
Yeah.
So how difficult has that been? Like I said, you got a sick parishioner, normally the pastor would go see them. How difficult has that been?
Man, for me and several others that I've talked to, the only thing that we can do is reach out by phone. There's a few hospitals that will allow the patient and then one person. Some don't even allow that. But just to not being able to be there in their time of need. Now, yeah, we can reach out to them via, Facebook. What is that? Where they can video
Twitter?
No,
I don't even know.
Facebook Live is where most of the services are. There's also that
FaceTime.
Periscope. Yeah,
FaceTime.
Yeah,
you can do that, but it's not the same. Your people know that you care and they understand that your hand is tied. But when you're so used to, being there for your people, it is a time. And going back to the funerals, weddings, I had to do a wedding here just a couple of weeks ago. Well, it had to be, including me, 10 people. That was it. We had the social distance on there. This particular couple had a whole venue set up at Tybee Island. I had paid almost like $25,000 for this place. And all of that had to be canceled because of what's going on. And so we had that for them and 9 members of their family. And the same thing with funerals right now. Everything is pretty much just graveside.
Right.
And when you're at the graveside, you have to social distance.
It's just been, I say, something we just never seen before. It's just a tough adjustment. You just wonder who makes these guidelines where you see some things are this way and then some things that still can't go to the hospital cafeteria, still can't go visit people in the hospital, still can't go to funerals, but yet they're going to have a concert at the drive-in with
how
many people. It's just I just don't understand who's making these rules and guidelines.
It's amazing what we've deemed essential or important,
right.
And just, on the other side said, this
it just makes you wonder,
like,
what are we doing? So, I mean, like I said, I think most people are just fed up.
Yeah, they
altogether.
are. You can start to see people now. They're just throwing it in the wind and said, you know what, I don't care. Right. And it was like something I'd read the other day about the numbers. Yet they said the numbers in Wayne County are slowly are increasing, right. But those that are in the hospital are decreasing.
Right.
And so they said we're like bypassing that curve. And so there's a lot of thing we get here. A lot of people get scared. You put fear in the equation, and there's something we got. You can spell it. You can put fear out there, and it's like false evidence appearing real, right? And so you get this, and you get this fear. I refuse to be afraid, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to be cautious.
Right. But nowadays, like I said yesterday, I stopped watching TV altogether. But it's so frustrating every time you see a different medical professional. They've got a different take on what causes it, what doesn't cause it. Does it spread inside, outside, surface it? I mean, everything's from day one. Everything's changed. It's a totally different narrative than when it first began. So you just don't know what to believe anymore.
I believe that narrative to begin with. There was that unknown factor, and I believe they were doing the best that they could and trying to get us past that point. And I believe that as the information came in, as they were able to do some testing and they realizing, hey, this isn't maybe all that we thought it was. Not that it's still not serious, because there absolutely has been that loss of life on a large scale, like we haven't seen in my lifetime. But still, it's amazing, like you said, that every week we hear something different. What we was told last week now doesn't apply.
I still have no idea. Does the mask help or not? I mean, I've heard so many different takes on that. Now they're saying at the beginning they said you can get off a surface. Now they're saying you can't get off a surface. Some say it's better to be outside than inside. I mean, it just changes every time you see a different person. I mean, nobody's consistent with the message. So if you're watching it as just a normal person, you're going, what do I believe? Like I said, they still want to be cautious, but it's like, what is the facts? What aren't the facts?
That's right.
Nobody seems to. There's no consistent playbook from.
I know I can speak for all of our ministers. We can't wait for things to get back to normal. I know our people can't wait. It's just the hardest thing for me has been when you, as the pastor, one of our things that we do, we in the service during our closing prayer, me and my wife like to walk back to our doors and greet everybody as we're leaving. Well, now we're releasing our congregation in sections. Have this section leave first, have this section next, and then you're not back there to be able to shake hands, to hug, love on people like you're used to. And then some of the people that that they'll say, "Can I just have a hug?" Now they just want to bump you with arms. And I truly hope that this is not going to be our new normal.
Hopefully in South Georgia we'll get back to that, because South Georgians are huggers and and shake hands and things like that. It's always been a way of life. So hopefully we'll get back to that.
That's right.
I've already seen some people do that. Like I said, some people if I get it.
That's right.
It's
going to be hard not to high five at the football game after a touchdown.
Let's just hope we have. That's the thing too. Major sports are just debating on what One day you hear they're going to have baseball, next day you're not going to. So the college football season looks like they're progressing, but as we mentioned several weeks ago, it's a $4 billion industry, college football. I mean, they're not going to. I don't see them letting that slip by.
I don't either.
I mean, it's all about money, and you're talking major money for campuses. So I see the college football season.
And we've still got that time. Well, we got 3 months until September.
3 months, like I said, but already you've seen where, just like Long County, for instance, they had one player test positive, so they've shut it down. Mm-hmm. So same thing, Glenn County, the food service program, one person test, so they shut it down. So is that going to be the trend moving forward? Is that what's going to happen everywhere, or are we just going to? So everybody has to make that personal choice, I guess, what to do. But decisions have to be made. Like I said, Long County Board of Education stepped in and made that decision, which Coach Pollock said he didn't have a problem with it, but it was just one player.
Right.
So I thought, talking to Coach Cribb, I asked him what happened there. If somebody comes with a high temperature, he said you just send them home for 14 days, but he didn't say anything about shutting everything down. So different schools are doing different things. So like I said, there's no consistent playbook. across the board for anything.
Well, if you got that one player who tested positive, if you're practicing the social distancing, if we don't have to worry about the hard surfaces, I don't see the problem.
It's just perplexing. Like I said, it's just different messages every time you turn around. I said, hopefully the sports, like I said, Jonathan mentioned again, and NBA all of a sudden had this big plan to go to Orlando, but now the players are balking on that, so they're not sure that's going to take place. Not sure if they're going to have a baseball season. So,
it's amazing how there's nothing like like sports that brings a nation back together.
All right. And that's what, I really thought Major League Baseball wanted that. At first they talked about, starting July 4th weekend, which would have been a great story, Start at MLB on July 4th, Independence Day. I mean, that was the plan, and now that plan's totally gone by the wayside. So, because you got millionaires and billionaires arguing about money. You'll
see the peak, and even when you got teams that are playing their rival, you're probably going to hear the biggest cheer when people can get back together. I had sat down through Convoy of Hope, an event I was at, and Mariano Rivera was there. And I got to ask him a question. I said, what was it like after September 11th, being a New York Yankee happened there? He said, what was different is, he said, we always had that mindset. We went into the opposing team's field. We were always the bad guy, and we expected to be booed. He said, but when we walked on that field, they started cheering us, and we didn't know what to do.
Yeah, the great thing about that, they do that 30 for 30 documentary where President Bush, went out there and threw that perfect strike, and he's talking to Derek Jeter before he goes out there, and he says, you got any advice? And Derek Jeter says, you better throw a strike because they'll boo you if you He said, this is New York. He said, I'm telling you, you better throw a strike because they're going to boo you if you get a strike. So, but that's just a great document and a great story, So, anyway.
But nothing brings us together, it seems like sport.
Right. I mean, people just, just like the recreation game started 3 weeks ago. I mean, I went out there a couple of nights. I mean, people are just thoroughly enjoying just being out and seeing actual sporting events taking place.
And haven't they done a great job with the field?
Like I said, they've done a great job with the field. They've done a great job with the social distancing. They've got people, like I said, hats off to Speck and his staff because they've got everything seems to be orderly. And like I said, they're making sure they have social distancing at the concession stands, and they're making sure only one person goes in the restroom at one time. So they're doing everything they've been told to do, which is a huge undertaking. And you don't think about putting all these policies in place, but they've done it, and so far it's been going extremely well. So just it's nice to see kids out having a good time. And like I said, hopefully the high school is going to have that graduation on July 18th, and the plan is hopefully to have a normal graduation ceremony. If you want to come. They haven't made that final decision as of yet because they're still a few weeks out, but that's the hope and plan. Is like it's going to be a personal choice. If you want to come sit in the state, they're going to try to block off seats and have the social distancing as well, but they're going to try to not limit it. But hopefully that'll stay in place as well because these kids. I talked to my sister last night. She has a senior in college that got affected by this. She's taking. She says not a normal class. Right now she lives in Virginia. She's doing all her classes online. And she said this kid should be at a college campus enjoying college life, having interaction, dating. She's just locked up in her home. You just think of all the stuff the seniors, college and high school, missed out on. I mean, they really got the shaft in this ordeal. I mean,
they really did.
Not any fault of their own, but it was. I mean, the things they missed out on. It's really sad when you sit and think about it. Yeah. So, anyway, we appreciate you coming in. Let's go over the details again. It's taking place today at the high school, a food drive, 2 to 5 p.m. Dale Bangs Ministerial Associations organized this event. So, again, just go over the details one more time for people that are out there listening, maybe just tuning in.
This is going to be a combined effort food giveaway from the Wayne County Ministerial Association, Convoy of Hope, and the USDA at 2 o'clock from 2 to 5 p.m. at the canopy at the Wayne County High School. We're going to be giving away food boxes. This is all your food's going to be in one contained box. It'll be 4 pounds of fresh fruit, 4 pounds of fresh vegetables, 5 pounds of meat, 1 pound of butter, 1 pound of cheese, and a half gallon of milk. Absolutely free at the Wayne County High School under the canopy from 2 to 5 o'clock.
Sounds good. Again, we appreciate you coming in. Always good to see you. And anytime the Ministerial Association has anything they need to get out, just let us know. It's just good to see most churches, like I said, are letting people back in. So.
And one more thing, there's no financial stipulation. It doesn't matter where you come from. This is open to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor or you drive on a trash truck. Doesn't matter. It's open to everybody and absolutely free.
Okay. We'll look forward to it today. Hopefully, like I said, it'll go smoothly. You said you got the Sheriff's Department helping out, directing traffic, things like that. So just have people be patient and just, I'm sure they'll get through the line. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll
make sure you get a box until we run out.
It's 2 to 5. Is that correct?
2 to 5
2
p.m.
to 5 this afternoon at the high school. Dave, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming in.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jonathan, so much. Appreciate it.
Stay safe.
Absolutely. You too.
We'll see you. That's going to do it for today's World Famous Butch and Bob Show. Have a great day.
And then along came Walker Jones.
The recovery is on at Walker Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're talking great financing options for June. How about the 2019 Ram 1500, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year? 0% for an amazing 72 months. You say the 2020s are more your style? Drive home a 2020 Dodge Durango or 2020 Jeep Cherokee and take advantage of 0.9 for 72 months. And of course, we'll take care of you like friends and good neighbors should. That's the Walker Jones way of doing business. We're home of the lifetime warranty at no extra cost to you. Good 24/7 coast to coast. Walker Jones Chrysler Dodge.